What's up? This is my podcast reflection on Unfreak Your Brain. So I found it really interesting to know that we have a part of our brain that is designed to scan for potential threats, danger, just anything scary in our life. And because it's evolved to be hyperfixated on danger, sometimes all we can see is danger, or we're just waiting for something to go wrong, which is, I'm sure a lot of us have those anxious thoughts. And that kind of mindset is not always the best to be in, or at least for me, it's not the best, because I don't want to have to be constantly worried about something going wrong when I should just be having a good day. In the podcast, she also brought up how to tell the difference between a circumstance and a thought. We create our own thoughts, and because there is a part of our brain that looks for threats, it can alter us to think with a very limited mindset of what is real and what is just a thought in our head. If we just keep believing every single thing that we hear, whether good or bad, that could probably be too much for us. It was mentioned that writing out our thoughts would help us, and I agree with that to a certain extent because I don't want to write too many things down. I think a lot, and pages would be filled within like minutes or something. If we catch what we are thinking in the moment and change it, we shift it to be something better, that is definitely healthy for us. It'll make us feel better, at least in that moment, instead of thinking and convincing ourselves that something's gonna go wrong, things don't work out for us, everything is never easy for us, and we have to work really hard for every single thing. Instead of thinking those negative thoughts constantly, it's better to switch it to the mindset of something positive, and that takes a lot of practice to do. Fun fact, an average person thinks around 6,200 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thinking. And our brain has the ability to filter out what is important and keep that in the main file or in the inbox, and filters out what is kind of irrelevant and just maybe spammy in the spam folder. I wish I knew this when I was younger, but I know this now, and it is that we control our brain. Our brain does not control us. What does that mean? I'm taking notes from the podcast and also taking notes from just spirituality stuff that I've been learning, even with the podcast. It's that we should be in charge of what we think, and that I think that's really important because we have a potential to live in autopilot when it comes to thinking. We have this tendency to just think one thing and let that spiral. In the podcast, she mentions to reduce the intake of social media, and I agree with that a lot because social media, not only just to check in on like the pandemic and other stuff like that, but just consuming too much social media is so bad for us because it's just addicting now. Every morning we check our phones just to see if something new is happening. I don't even know why I check social media anymore. It's honestly all the same, and my thumb is so used to just scrolling around just to feel like I'm doing something. Emotional intelligence plays a decent role in the podcast because it's understanding how to persist in a feeling better, in this case, how to think better thoughts and stay in that headspace. And if we're able to control our bad thoughts and shift them into good, then I think we will be okay, at least. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.